The advancement of technology has opened the door to documenting a number of incredible moments that we could never have imagined possible. From the whale calf that was eventually rescued to the giant, perplexing wave that caught the attention of beachgoers, surely you don't want to miss the huge wave sea monster. Here are the 20 incidents captured on camera that shocked the whole world. Number 20. Whale calf rescued on April 19, 2022. At about 8 a.m., a 20-meter-long sperm whale found itself stranded on a beach. Rescuers, armed with good intentions and a fishing boat, tried to tow the hefty creature out to sea, but it didn't budge. The whale must have thought, "Sorry folks, I'm in a no-tow zone." So the rescuers did the next best thing and tended to the whale's needs. They coated it with medicine, gave it a refreshing splash of water, and dug puddles to keep its skin moisturized. It's like a high-end spa treatment, but for a stranded whale. Finally, after a series of trials, at about 30 minutes past 10 at night, the tide later came back, and the rescuers rejoiced as they towed the whale out to the deep blue sea. It's a happy ending, but the whale must have left a note saying, "I'll never forget this shorely experience." In a similar whale rescue experience, a heartwarming whale rescue story happened on the Gold Coast in Northeast Australia, where a stranded whale calf was given a new lease of life. Despite the efforts of numerous beachgoers to rescue the calf, they were unsuccessful until the SeaWorld rescue team stepped in. These experts used a special harness connected to a motorboat in a bid to safely pull the whale back to the sea. Volunteers also played a vital role by providing a continuous supply of seawater to keep the baby whale alive. It was no easy feat, as the calf weighed around 15 to 20 tons, but after several hours of trying, the team finally succeeded in guiding it back into the sea. In another twisted event, a baby orca got stranded on a beach not once, but twice. Apparently, it fell behind its pod and couldn't keep up with the high tide, poor thing. Luckily, some local heroes stepped in to save the day. One Florida resident captured a video of the rescue operation, and it's pretty heartwarming stuff. The rescuers first kept the little guy soaked with seawater before using a trailer to move it into shallow water. But it quickly became clear that the shallows weren't going to cut it, and they had to come up with a new plan. That's when they decided to transport the orca on a boat, tying it to the side so they could safely move it to a more suitable release location. I mean, how cool is that? It's like something out of a movie. Number 19, YouTuber swims next to a giant fish. Venturing into the waters adjacent to recently captured behemoth fish is akin to courting calamity. In a video clip documented in Port St. Lucie, Florida in August of 2019, Mike is featured alongside a colossal specimen of aquatic life. Despite harboring trepidation of submerged environs, Mike opted to immerse himself alongside the mammoth creature, the largest he had ever caught. However, it was not long before the Goliath grouper became enraged, and Mike's predicament promptly went awry. Panic set in as he grappled with the situation, struggling to find his bearings amidst the colossal and volatile creature. If perchance a Goliath grouper, a creature of mammoth proportions that could reach up to 8 feet in length and weigh over 800 pounds, were to engulf you in its maw, it would be an alarming and harrowing experience. These creatures are recognized for being opportunistic hunters, meaning they consume anything that fits in their mouths, including small sharks and other fish. After the Goliath grouper has enveloped you, you would find yourself situated inside its belly, an exceedingly muscular chamber which relies on robust contractions to pulverize food. The hydrochloric acid, which is produced by the stomach lining, would commence the process of breaking down your corporeal vessel, and your vitality would dissipate expeditiously. Notwithstanding, it is highly improbable for a human to be engulfed entirely by a Goliath grouper. These fish typically reside in the ocean's profundities, eschewing all human interactions. Moreover, they possess diminutive oral cavities, and fitting a human inside their mouths would be an impossibility. If, by some remote chance, you do find yourself ensnared in the Goliath grouper's grasp, it would be wise to attempt to disentangle yourself from its clutches or utilize an instrument to break free. Number 18. The soldier crab's randomization. The soldier crabs, despite their military name and their coordinated movement, do not follow any particular pattern of arrival. Unlike the red crabs that march in large numbers during their migration, the soldier crabs prepare for their departure from the ocean at random intervals. After much speculation and observation, it has been determined that these crabs visit the beaches during low tides. They dig their burrows in the sand, settle in, and vanish without a trace when they perceive any threat. In previous years, the beaches were host to large numbers of these crabs, but due to the increasing tourism in the area, they have ceased to arrive in such abundance. With their small, circular blue bodies perched atop elongated jointed legs, sporting contrasting purple stripes, these crabs are a striking sight to behold. Their fascinating behavior of traversing in colossal clusters has been documented in several locations, including Port Stevens, Myanmar, and even the Caribbean. The sheer magnitude of their synchronized movements, executed in perfect harmony, is nothing short of remarkable. Number 17. Goliath grouper aggregation. These Goliaths have a complete mating ritual that includes a specific time and site. The spawning occurs primarily on a deep-sea wreck or protected reef. Palm Beach County, Florida is the sacred place where scuba divers from around the world have special access to the region where they witnessed the largest Goliath aggregation. You must be thinking, why is it a special occasion? Well, the female Goliaths take almost 8 years to mature to pre-produce, while the male only needs 6 years. It's an amazing annual event where massive Goliath groupers gather together for reproduction purposes at the same wreck at the same time each year. And when I say massive, I mean these fish can weigh almost 800 pounds. These big guys come together in crowds of 30 to 50, but sometimes even up to 100 at the MV Castor wreck. The Atlantic Goliath grouper is the biggest of the grouper species in the Western Hemisphere and can reach a whopping 8 feet in length, weigh more than 1,000 pounds, and live for 30 to 50 years. These gatherings are known as spawning aggregations, and they happen at only a few select locations throughout the species range. Seeing so many of these incredible creatures in one place is truly a remarkable sight. Number 16. Sperm whales energy boom. Researchers have made a remarkable discovery about the way sperm whales use ultrasound to hunt prey. These huge ocean creatures emit clicks and chirps that are powerful enough to stun their prey. In fact, their ultrasound sounds are louder than a jet plane taking off. To demonstrate the power of these sounds, a diver once attempted to record them and was met with a loud bang that left him temporarily stunned. The sheer force of the sound is even capable of causing physical damage to the head, including hemorrhages. To better understand how they produce these clicks at great depths, researchers used ultrasound time/depth recording tags attached to the whales using a pole and suction cup. They found that even at depths where there is only 2% of the initial air volume in the nasal complex, the sperm whale's click production is unaffected by hydrostatic reduction. These whales produce echolocation clicks continuously while diving, making them an ideal species for researchers to study using passive acoustic technology. Sperm whales make a series of clicking sounds when they dive, and they possess the strongest biological sonar system among all living creatures. The loudest click produced by a sperm whale has been recorded at 230 decibels, referenced to 1 micropascal root mean square. Number 15. A deadly sting. Hey, have you ever heard of a Portuguese man-o-war? They're also called sea devils, and let me tell you, they live up to their name. In a video that's been making the rounds online, a guy was spearfishing when one of these bad boys stung him. He had a pretty panicked reaction, and I don't blame him. Apparently, the sting can cause intense pain for up to 20 minutes. What's interesting about Portuguese man-o-war is that they're not even true jellyfish. They're actually a type of siphonophore, which is a colony of smaller organisms called zooids. These creatures have long tentacles that they use to catch prey, and once they've captured something, they deliver a powerful sting that can even immobilize larger fish. Then, the tentacles wrap around the prey, trapping it so the Portuguese man-o-war can feed. Here's where it gets really wild. The tentacles dissolve the prey's flesh into a liquid, making it easy for the Portuguese man-o-war to consume. It's definitely not something you want to encounter in the water, but it's fascinating to observe from a safe distance. Of course, this is just a reminder that the ocean is full of incredible and sometimes dangerous creatures. It's always important to be cautious and aware when you're in their territory. Number 14. The most poisonous fish in Australia. Stonefish are known to be one of the most venomous fish in the world, and they are found in shallow coastal waters in the northern half of Australia. These fish are masters of disguise and can remain motionless while partially buried in the substrate, blending in perfectly with the rocky reef debris, coral, and aquatic plants around them. This makes them a perfect disaster waiting to happen for any unsuspecting swimmer or diver who may accidentally step on or brush up against them. The venom from a stonefish sting can cause excruciating pain, paralysis, tissue damage, and even death in some cases. It is crucial to be aware of the potential danger and take necessary precautions when swimming or diving in areas where these fish are known to inhabit. Number 13. The octopus escape. The video captured a fascinating moment of an octopus using its remarkable intelligence and flexibility to escape from danger. The octopus, sensing the threat, quickly swam away to its home. It then used its sneaky skills to move stealthily toward a small opening in the rocks. The octopus successfully squeezed its flexible body through the opening and escaped from the danger. It's amazing how the octopus has no bones, which allows it to fit through tiny spaces and escape from predators. The octopus is also known for its intelligence and problem-solving abilities. It can use its tentacles to manipulate objects and solve puzzles, making it one of the most fascinating creatures of the ocean. The video is truly worth watching to witness the clever escape plan executed by the octopus. Number 12. The Japanese giant salamander. The Japanese giant salamander is such a cool creature. It may look like a fish, but it's actually an amphibian that serves as a guardian of the river. This species is massive, weighing up to 55 pounds and measuring almost 5 feet long. And those two big hands? They definitely give off some creepy vibes. While these salamanders are amazing to see in the wild, it's important to remember that they can be naturally hostile, so we should be cautious around them. Sadly, habitat loss is a huge threat to their survival, which is why Japanese officials are working to protect them. It's incredible to think that these ancient species have been around for over 20 million years. The Japanese giant salamander is a fascinating amphibian species that's found only in Japan. This fully aquatic salamander is known for its enormous size, growing up to 5 feet in length, making it the third largest salamander species in the world. It's closely related to the Chinese and South China giant salamanders, which are even bigger. These carnivorous creatures have a slow metabolism and can go for weeks without food. They have a varied diet which includes fish, insects, crayfish, snails, and small mammals. Due to their unique characteristics and importance to Japan's ecosystem, the Japanese giant salamander is designated as a special natural monument of Japan. They are considered to be living fossils, as they have barely evolved over millions of years. It's incredible to think that this species has survived for so long and remains an essential part of the country's biodiversity. Number 11. Giant lamprey eel caught by fishermen. The lamprey eel is often referred to as the vampire of the river kingdom due to its parasitic nature and razor-sharp teeth. Recently, a fisherman caught a lamprey eel that shocked the world with its monstrous size, being about 100 times larger than the typical ones we see. The footage of this giant lamprey eel is both shocking and horrifying, and it's no wonder why this creature is considered one of the most terrifying in the murky depths of rivers. The lamprey captured by the fisherman looked very disgusting, but it was actually 100 times bigger than the usual ones. Their heads were as large, if not larger, than the man's fist. This is surprising as the normal eels usually measure a few inches in length. Although it would have been better not to have encountered this terrifying river monster, it's a reminder of the incredible diversity that exists in the natural world, even if some of it is a bit unsettling. Despite its intimidating appearance, the giant lamprey eel is not typically dangerous to humans. However, it is a popular food in Japan and is considered a delicacy in some regions. The giant lamprey eel is a parasitic fish, which means it feeds on the blood and body fluids of other fish. It attaches itself to the skin of its prey using its sucker-like mouth, which is lined with rows of sharp teeth. Once attached, it uses its tongue to rasp a hole in the skin and then feeds on the blood and other body fluids of the host fish. Due to overfishing and habitat loss, The giant lamprey eel is now considered a threatened species in Japan. Efforts are being made to protect and conserve the remaining populations of this unique and fascinating eel. Number 10. Shark cage gone awry. In a video that surfaced in July 2022, a diver can be seen getting attacked by a massive great white shark. It's hard to believe that such an intense situation could be caught on camera. The shark begins to circle the diver's enclosure before unleashing a series of brutal blows that leave the diver paralyzed and upside down. After a few minutes of chaos, the diver frantically swims towards safety, likely to a nearby boat or solid surface. It's a stark reminder of just how vicious and unpredictable these great predators can be. Number 9. The largest crocodile tries to flee. In a small village in the Philippines, a giant saltwater crocodile was captured after a 3-week hunt. The crocodile, suspected of attacking multiple people, weighed an astounding 2,365 pounds and was estimated to be around 20 years old. Just imagine how terrifying it must have been for the villagers who constantly feared this man-eating crocodile. As you can see in the footage, the crocodile tried its best to escape from the hands of its human captors by twisting and bending its entire body. It's fascinating to witness the sheer size and power of this apex predator. While saltwater crocodiles are known to grow up to 23 feet long and live up to 100 years, it's not often that we see one as bulky as this after eating so many men. It's important to remember that while these creatures may seem fascinating, they are also extremely dangerous. Saltwater crocodiles are known to be aggressive and have a history of attacking humans. So it's essential to exercise caution when living near their habitat or coming in contact with them. The saltwater crocodile holds the title for the largest crocodile species in the world, with males growing up to 23 feet long and weighing up to 2,205 pounds. This is in contrast to the Nile crocodile, which is the second largest crocodile species, averaging 16 feet in length and 500 pounds in weight, with a maximum size of around 20 feet and 1,650 pounds. Hence, saltwater crocodiles are considerably larger than other crocodile species. Number 8. MAKO shark jumped onto the fishing boat. A wild encounter with a 7-foot-long MAKO shark left a group of fishermen in Maine startled and surprised. Apparently, the shark was jumping out of the water and putting on a show for the fishermen, but things took a turn when it landed directly on the boat. Can you imagine the panic among the fishermen as they ran to protect themselves? The poor shark was probably just as confused as they were. And that's not the only wild encounter fishermen have had with sharks. In another incident, a shark was caught on the railing of a fishing boat with its fins stuck, unable to free itself. Thankfully, the fishermen were able to help release the shark back into the ocean. Number 7. Goliath grouper. A clip captured in July of 2021 by a local resident who found a dead giant grouper washed ashore in Tampa Bay off the coast of St. Petersburg. According to an expert, the cause of this giant beast's death was due to an unusually large outbreak of toxic red tide, as it weighed over 400 pounds. A bulldozer was called in to collect the carcass while it was being cleaned up. Apart from this, more than 600 tons of dead fish and other marine life had to be collected. Number 6. The overgrown kelp forest sea monster. The power and beauty of the ocean can be both awe-inspiring and terrifying, and one such example can be seen in this incredible image captured at Giovante State Park in California. The photo shows a lone man standing amidst a massive wave, with the water rising up around him like a towering wall of liquid force. But the true story behind this image is just as fascinating as the image itself. At first glance, it might appear that the man is in danger, with the tentacles of some massive sea creature rising up from the depths to ensnare him. And that's exactly what some beachgoers at the park thought when they first saw the scene unfolding before them. Panic began to spread among the onlookers as they speculated about what could be causing the disturbance in the water. Was it a giant squid or some other monstrous sea creature that was about to attack? It wasn't until a brave diver decided to investigate that the truth was revealed. After mustering up the courage to jump into the water and see for himself what was causing the commotion, the diver emerged laughing after just a few minutes. As it turned out, there was no sea monster lurking in the waves, just an overgrown kelp forest that was visible through the crystal clear water. Number 5. Bare-handed shark fishing. Sharks are often portrayed as ferocious and intimidating creatures that strike fear in our hearts. Most people would never dare to approach them, let alone catch one with their bare hands. However, for Salam and many other Melanesian men, catching a shark is a rite of passage to adulthood and a way to earn the respect of their tribe. To pass the initiation test, these men must catch a shark using only their bare hands. Over the years, Salam has honed his skills and developed a technique that involves using a bait line, making some noise, and using a stick to catch the shark. These men do not rely on luck, but rather believe in their own power and ability to overcome their fears. While this may seem like a daunting and dangerous task, it is a tradition that has been passed down for generations among the Melanesian people. Catching a shark is seen as a symbol of strength, courage, and bravery, and those who succeed in the task are revered and respected by their community. Number 4. Are those onshore water balls? On a beautiful morning, beachgoers in Argentina stumbled upon an unusual sight, an array of water balls scattered along the shore. Initially, it appeared as though a group of children had left behind water bombs for an epic beach battle. These water balls are not toys, but actually eggs belonging to the largest carnivorous sea snail. During the mating season, these giant snails lay translucent eggs that float through the waves. Unfortunately, some eggs get washed up on the beach, where they are at risk of being eaten by birds. But here's the thing. When these eggs are eaten on the beach, they resemble giant pearls of oysters, giving beachgoers a mesmerizing experience. It's fascinating how beaches offer unique surprises, and this particular one in Argentina offered a glimpse into the life of the largest carnivorous sea snail. So, next time you're on a beach and come across something strange, remember to take a closer look. You never know what hidden wonders might be waiting to be discovered. Speaking about eggs, in the animal kingdom, there are all kinds of weird and wonderful ones, from the biggest to the most uniquely shaped. But hold up, because there's more to the story of the horn shark egg than just its funky shape. These toothy river monsters actually screw their eggs into rocky crevices to keep them safe from the strong ocean currents. It's like a natural form of egg security, and it helps these sharks to ensure that their offspring hatch successfully. Who knew that eggs could be so cool and fascinating? It just goes to show that the animal kingdom is full of surprises and strange wonders. So next time you're on the beach, keep an eye out for some weird eggs. You never know what kind of creature they might belong to. Number 3. From vultures on gliders to cliff jumping. Who doesn't love a free Uber ride, especially in today's economy? Well, it turns out that even vultures are getting in on the action. In a viral video captured by instructor Scott Mason in October 2020, a black vulture landed on his selfie stick while he was gliding over the Spanish mountains. The bird seemed to be enjoying the ride just as much as Mason was. Another video that took the internet by storm was published on June 21st, 2022. It shows a man jumping from a high cliff on a Scottish mountain and landing on a bird that was flying by. The slow-motion footage captures their paths crossing and both falling into the ocean below. It just goes to show that sometimes the most unexpected things can happen in nature. Who knows what other surprising encounters we'll come across in the future? Number 2. Sea angels. Sea angels, also known as gymnosomes, are tiny, free-floating sea slugs found in oceans worldwide, from polar regions to tropical seas. They have parapodia, wing-like appendages, and a mostly transparent gelatinous body. The largest species, the naked sea butterfly, is only 5 centimeters long. Despite their innocent appearance, sea angels are the predators of the equally fascinating sea butterflies, which are tiny sea snails. They are able to swim twice as fast as their prey, reaching speeds of 100 millimeters per second, and use mucus webs to trap sea butterflies. Sea angels are protandrous hermaphrodites, meaning they start as males and turn into females as they mature. When they mate, they turn their reproductive organs inside out and bind together using a specialized sucker, leaving a scar when they finally separate. The fertilization process takes place while they float through the ocean for up to 4 hours, spinning around as if they are dancing. Sea angels are also known to hunt for food while mating. These fascinating creatures have been found along the northeast coast of Australia and up around Papua New Guinea, as well as in the icy waters of the White Sea off the northwest coast of Russia. Protogynous hermaphroditism is the most common form of hermaphroditism seen in marine life, where they start as females and end up as males. Clownfish are another example of protandrous hermaphroditism, making Finding Nemo a far more complicated scenario than the movie suggests. Number 1. Toothed monster lurking beneath. It's important to keep in mind that just because we know there are dangerous animals living in rivers, we shouldn't let our guard down when we go swimming. If you're going to a river, it's a good idea to do a little research to see if bull sharks are known to frequently visit the area. Bull sharks are particularly concerning because they can live in both fresh and salt water, which means they can swim in rivers as well. And on top of that, they're known to be aggressive and dangerous. The thing about rivers is that they can be home to all sorts of creatures, including ones that like to hunt in areas where humans like to swim. Imagine going for a peaceful canoe ride only to have a massive bull shark swim right next to you. It's pretty scary to even think about. But believe it or not, there have been some amazing recordings of bull sharks going head-to-head with crocodiles in the river. While it's fascinating to watch, it's important to remember that these are wild animals, and they can be incredibly dangerous. So it's always best to exercise caution and stay safe when you're in the water. They're considered one of the most dangerous sharks to humans because of their aggressive nature and preference for shallow coastal waters where people often swim. But don't worry, shark attacks are extremely rare. Bull sharks mainly feed on fish, but have also been known to eat dolphins, sea turtles, and even other sharks. And get this, they have a bite force of up to 5,914 newtons, which is the highest among all investigated cartilaginous fishes. Unfortunately, these sharks are listed as near threatened due to habitat loss and bycatch from fishing. It's important for us to do our part in protecting these amazing creatures so they can continue to thrive in our oceans. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one.